Today is a little bit different live show because Lacey was not able to join us due to some technical issues, but we are still doing our show and we have Nick and Taylor. And during this cover letter shop, we will be looking over Taylor's cover letter and we will be breaking it down and making it better live, which I think will be awesome. Lots of great insights, tips, and tricks that we'll cover today. But let me talk a little bit about why cover letter, why do we need it, and what is it used for. So it's regardless of the position that you're applying for, supporting your resume with a cover letter can boost your chances of landing a job. You should know that, and always include a cover letter if there's a place when you're applying for a job for a cover letter. It's a place where you can add more experience and specifically highlight skills that will help you succeed in the role that you're applying for. Because as you know, as we discussed, in our previous videos, in the resume, I mean, the best resume for non-developers is 1 page long. If you make it longer, yeah, it's some recruiters will maybe like it because they have more information to look over, but most will just say this is not the right format. It should be 1 page, and that's why you have the cover letter. The cover letter is the place where you can just add those additional skills inside. um, and also recruiters will see that you took your time writing a cover letter and specifically adding some information to the role that you're applying for, because again, we're going to go over it. You cannot have identical cover letter for every single job that you're applying for. So it's always, you can have for example, let's say you're applying for customer success role and also at the same time you're interested for, let's say, an account management role. For those two, I would suggest making two completely different cover letters. And then for each cover letter, you would have each, well, before you're applying for, the next opportunity, I would suggest, you know, just modifying it a little bit, using some keywords, some key skills that are inside of the job description, inside that cover letter, to make it more appealing to the recruiter. I think that's very important. And in order to make it better, don't forget that it's always a good idea to break down the role description, before you apply for the job, so that you can cater your resume plus your cover letter to that role. And we actually did it with Taylor. And just a small spoiler, he will be making a great video on how to break down a role and then how to prepare for the interview, also how to maybe use some of those key points in your resume and the cover letter. Always good to research the company, research the culture of the company, so that you can include some of those points inside the cover letter. Because if you will find something interesting about, let's say it's a Web3 startup and the culture is very Web3, you can say that in my past work I also worked in a startup where we had very similar culture, and you can just kind of talk about the culture inside your cover letter, which will also be appealing because you did take some time to research. And companies love when you do research before you go to the interview or before you submit your cover letter, because this way they see that you are very interested and you're trying your best to get inside the company. Okay, so now let's get into it. Okay, so let's do it this way. Let's start from the top and we're just going to be going down line by line. So what I can see here, the first thing that I'll probably change, and Nick, feel free to interrupt me to give me
Sure.
your view. I would add probably like a catchy heading. Maybe have a few numbers, something like here you say that over 4 years experience working on C++. Maybe something catchy. I'm just trying to think. Nick, help me here. We can talk about, Taylor is making great content for Metaintro. He's making educational content. And this role that he's applying for is technical educator. So he will be also producing different video as well as written content for Web3 Foundation that will help, drive the adoption, get more people on board. So what do you think?
I always go for, and I mean, this might be let me take a quick step back, because I mean, my approach for this is always going to be revolved around like, where's the thing posted and where are they kind of sourcing from? Who are we looking at? So I mean, your background of looking for kind of like this technical creator role, I'm going to imagine. I mean, I'll tell you, I always start off cover letters saying simply "Hey there," right? I mean, it's a different approach from like the very kind of office like professional one, but you figure you're gonna have pretty casual people trying to read this. They're probably inundated with a ton of resumes and cover letters that they're looking at. I always take it like brevity, make it simple, make it casual, make it easy for them to read it, which is going to make it easier for them to engage and reply to you. I'm going to go with "Hey there" on the very top line here.
Sure, sure. I mean, let's try. Okay, let's put "Hey there," but also, Nick, we should understand that
Mhm.
a typical recruiter, they don't have much time to go over the entire cover letter, or to even skim sometimes. So maybe, the why I was talking about the headline, because headline is the first sentence, the first thing that the recruiter will see. And if it summarizes at least, major achievements in the headline, they will at least, get these achievements without even going through the entire cover letter.
Mhm.
This is just a small trick that, again, not everybody will use, but it can be helpful if recruiter is very low on time.
Okay, so you're saying sort of for a job like this, like, or any whatever it is, just kind of hit the main points more in the first, just kind of, because I do mention kind of like what you're talking about, for a technical educator, like somewhere down here and like, or like in multiple different places. But what you're saying about if recruiters don't have time, they might never get to that if it's not right at
Yeah.
the
So
start, sort of thing.
what I would do is, for example, delete Dear Web3 Foundation hiring team. Just get it out. Say,
Yeah.
hey there. I do like what Nick said, because it's just kind of getting closer, less formal, and also remember it's a Web3. In Web3, people are not wearing suits. People are more casual, which I love, and
Mhm.
I think this is the way to go.
I think
Press on.
it's also kind of important to recognize. I mean, this role, we don't have like JP Morgan Chase necessarily hiring for this type of role. Obviously, very different organizations than if they're like a newly funded startup. Totally different people kind of reading those resumes. So, I mean, in this case, we kind of have like a good product market fit as far as like, yeah, we're on like leaning toward more that casual type of side, if you get what I mean. But
Sure.
yeah, please go on.
Yeah. So next, what I would do when I was talking about the headline. So let's put a headline. Press enter 2 times. Okay, awesome. So here I would just have one sentence, something catchy that will then go into the next paragraph. Because this way, if they have no time, you separated the paragraph, from, let's call it a headline, where you will have, your top achievements. So let's say, hey there, my name is Taylor, and just trying to think, I have,
I need to even include this. I'm ready to apply, or it's pretty obvious.
yeah, yeah, you can. Oh, you know what? What you can do? My name is Taylor. I'm a software engineer with over 4 years experience. With 4 years of experience, just put it there. Yeah, you can just copy it. And also one more thing, and this is for everyone, guys. When people are scheming, they're going through your cover letter, resume. Doesn't matter. This is my personal opinion. I mean, everybody is different, but this is my personal opinion. I would never write a number. Let's say here he says over 4 years experience. I would never have four as written as four. I'll put a number four, because if somebody is scheming, it's way easier to go through
Yeah.
numbers, especially if they want to see how many years of experience you have. So they'll be just scheming, looking for numbers. When it's gonna get lost inside the text. Just a small, and also it's gonna make it shorter. Because there's a lot of numbers in this cover letter. My name is Taylor. I'm a software engineer with over 4 years experience, and a lot of how to make it sound better. I just want to cover that Nick, maybe you can help me. You're a native speaker, so I just want to also cover the thing that he's currently making. Educational content creation, educational content for Metaintro. which is help. Well, it's super related to the role that he's applying for.
Probably something like, I mean, so we get the overall background in there. So software engineer with over 4 years experience, and most recently have been working on X. Easy to skim, kind of gives you like a nice view of like what the present and past kind of looked like.
Sure. Yeah. That's great. So write that 4 years experience and most recent. Just give me 1 second. Video education and most recently developing, creating educational content for video educational content for a Web3 startup. Why I didn't put Metaintro inside there? Why specifically Web3 startup? Because I'm not sure that every single recruiter knows what is Metaintro, and it's just easier to say that this is a startup. And since you're applying to a startup, this is easier for them without making the background research. And when they're gonna see a resume, they will see that Metaintro, that's the place where you did that. Okay, awesome. So that's good. I'm writing to apply for the role of technical educator. Yeah, I would take it out. To be honest, I would take it out because again, they know for which role you're applying for.
Yeah.
I've been in crypto space for over 2 years. Again, 2, replace it with number 2. Just easier for them to see it. 2 years, and felt now was the right time to pursue a career in what? And here you can specify specifically in what you're trying to pursue the career. How would you call it, Taylor?
I guess developer relations would be the easiest. It's kind of just a nice umbrella term for the sort of jobs I'm applying for. So
okay, let's put it there.
I guess I can change this for like specific jobs or whatever, because this is more kind of like educator than a developer relations role.
Okay, here you can say the role that you're applying for. So career, well, maybe we can change it to pursue a career as a is there any nice way to call the educational content creator role in shorter way?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Or we just say a career in technical content creation.
Sure.
I feel like DevRel probably even does still encompass that, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah,
because you're not just making the content, you're also, well, I mean, besides making content, you're also educating people. Even though content does educate people, there's so many ways how you can also educate people by making different posts. Well, again, that's also content. So yeah, I think developer relations would be the best fit for this paragraph. Okay, let's move on. So my last 2 years, again, I would probably replace it with a number. I know that in English it's better to, when you're writing this way, the way you wrote it is correct, but just, for skimming purposes, it makes it easier when you have numbers. Give me 1 second, actually, guys. We have a chat. Hey, Lacey. Good morning, guys. Thank you for joining us. So let us continue. My last 2 years at an now open wave. Can you tell me more about it? Was it a startup?
Not really. It was just a sort of software house owned by a bigger company. I guess it was just in like telecommunications software engineering. Yeah, not really. It wasn't really startup-y, no. So
got it. Okay. Because I thought if this would be a startup, since you're applying for a startup, it's always good to talk about it. Actually, Nick, there's a question for you from Lacey. She's asking, any opinion on using ChatGPT to write the CV?
Yes. Okay, I'm seeing that now. This is an interesting question. The reason why is because I feel like so many. It's actually perfectly relevant. So many cover letters probably do look like it was a resume put into an AI model and said, spit out a cover letter for this. Taylor's example here doesn't follow that at all exactly, really, right? It's doing it well enough where this is a narrative. It's kind of giving us something. Look, when it comes to AI and ChatGPT, I think it's great. Use it for some inspiration, right? If you want to ask ChatGPT to reword something for you, give you some bullet points that you can add in there and kind of riff off of on your own, that's fantastic. But I can already tell you that I'm seeing things, and I who knows if they are or not, but I'm saying to myself, this was written by an AI, and like they're not getting my engagement or anything out of this. So I would say I'd be very curious to see if we had like a whole cover letter. Maybe we'll even do that on this call. I'll share my screen and we'll see what it kind of gives us. You know what? Maybe we'll save that for the end. That's like kind of the bonus. If you stick around to the end, we'll have ChatGPT write us. We'll have it rewrite this cover letter and send him out and see which one gets a job. Okay, we won't take it that far. But
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, at least we can, give our opinion which one is better. So, and also,
Absolutely.
ChatGPT was able to, make some really, useful improvements.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's great. It's great. Overall, I would say just don't. I mean, look, I think we're learning pretty quickly and like gaining some sophistication when it comes to these AI tools. I don't think we're, silly enough to kind of just go and copy paste things directly in there at this point. But yeah, I mean, this is an interesting topic that probably deserves its own entire video at some point.
Yeah, I mean, ChatGPT it's mind blowing. I was able to make an extension on Google Chrome using ChatGPT. Just think of that. It made the code and everything for me. So yeah, guys, if you're watching this, if you don't know what is ChatGPT, just Google it. You will love what it can do. It's mind blowing. Okay. Yeah, Lacey, we're gonna do it. Okay, let us go forward. So my last 2 years at NL OpenWave, I was senior engineer and Scrum lead to a team of 10. Awesome. 10, I would also use a number just so
Yeah.
if I would scheme, this would be easier for me. Okay. Team of 10, great. This led me to having a much bigger interpersonal role at the company. I mean, it's good. Yeah. I spent a lot of time. I love this part. I have to say that. I spent a lot of time mentoring placement and graduate students, and even more time talking to the team members about tasks, work plans, and and sprints. Awesome, I love it because here, since this is an educational role, I mean, you're basically saying that you were mentoring people, you were helping them, get better at, as developers. Because I understand you were managing, you were helping developers, right?
Yeah.
Taylor.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's good. This is
Yeah.
given.
I pretty much just in this paragraph, I'm just trying to lean because it's like this is my developer kind of relations cover letter, or this sort of job. I just try to lean into the whole communication side of the job, rather than talking very much about the actual developer or development side of it. So that's kind of why I've got all this sort of stuff in.
Awesome. Yeah, and just kind of yes, I mean a few days ago, me and Taylor we were going through the job description for this specific role that he applied for. And I can say that for just knowing the role description and now looking at the cover letter, what I would definitely apply here, because in the role they did talk about a little bit about their culture, that it's kind of lean culture, and also that they're looking for for you to be very efficient at what you're doing and try to increase efficiencies. So, and we were discussing this point with Taylor, and I would include here that by mentoring those developers, Taylor was able to increase efficiency for them, so they were able to do their tasks much faster than they did before because now they had more knowledge. And I would definitely include it here that due to Taylor's mentoring, they were able to increase their productivity. Again, this would go directly from the job description which they were asking for. Okay, so let us continue. This has given me great experience talking to other devs. Okay, that's also good. This means that you're on the same page with other developers, doesn't different levels, which makes me suitable for the role at Web3 Foundation. As I understand, this is how they write it, right? The short way of Web3 Foundation.
Yeah, just I actually haven't seen this anywhere, but I don't know. It made sense just to make it a bit shorter. Yeah.
Sure. Well, I mean, yeah, I was able to understand what it is right away. I
Yeah.
also have experience writing clear, clean documentation of features my teams have developed, and they personally. Okay, I love. I mean, this is great because again, you're applying for a technical content. Well, it's content creator for Web3 Foundation, and this is awesome that you can make great, clear documents that will explain, how everything works. This is
Yeah,
good.
that's one of the first things in the job description said about updating the documentation. So I think it's really good to mention this.
Yeah, I mean that's good. Okay, let us continue. Written several internal technical. Okay, this is also good. Written several internal technical blogs for the company. Good. Maybe you could just expand maybe one more sentence talking about the blog. What type of blog? What did you discuss? If it was for developers, just be more specific about it.
Okay.
Yeah, but don't go too crazy into
I just add a note here.
yeah, be more specific. I've also led several internal tech talks. Okay, I mean this is good. Introducing the wider team to new technologies or explaining features my team has been working with. Okay, this is really good because this again goes directly to the job description, because you were teaching them, you were educating them on the features and so on. This is good. Even though Nick, just kind of want to question to you.
Mm,
He has great content in this paragraph, but I think it might get lost
it's
if
massive.
somebody is trying to skim without actually reading sentence by sentence. um, Another suggestion, again, there's so many ways that you can make a cover letter, probably like hundreds different ways of how you can approach a cover letter. This is one approach where you have a block text approach, I'll call it this, which is block text. When you have paragraphs. Also, there's another approach where you can have a short introduction about yourself, can be a couple sentences, and then going having the job description on one side and your cover letter on the other. You can make bullet points and specifically say each bullet point how are you I mean how your past experience and your knowledge is related to the job that you're applying for. So for example, here you can have a bullet point that will talk about you writing blogs. You can be more specific. I wrote, for example, 10 blogs, and if especially if you had some analytics on the back, you can talk about analytics. Let's say it had so many viewers, so many people read my blog, I had so many likes, something like that. Again, this is a different approach. I'm not saying that one is better than the other. Both of them are good, but if you want to emphasize specific points, I would suggest making bullet points.
Yeah, could I even maybe do a mix of the two on the same cover letter? Like just because like kind of like what Nick said, this is like obviously this is like a massive paragraph, which I kind of didn't really like so much about this part of it. But I was kind of just like, oh, I don't really know how else to fit everything. I didn't even, to be honest, for a cover letter, didn't even consider bullet points. But I feel like maybe it might make more sense, for something like this, which is there's just like a lot of information, and then I
Yeah.
can kind of just maybe leave the smaller paragraphs down there as just the way that they are.
So
Maybe.
here, let me just interject for a hot second here. So as reading this, my natural kind of breaking points are, I mean, if the document was right in front of me, I would go right by where it says, I spent a lot of time, the second line, and I would just hit return twice there. And then right after suitable for this role at W3F, right there, I would hit return twice, right before I also have experience writing clear, clean documentation.
Okay, so here
Yeah,
as
I
well.
think you're right there. Yeah, okay, right there. And then above that, I spent a lot of time.
Like here.
Right there. Already, I think we have like three kind of points that are at least, because it's better. Think of it this way. Let's just assume that no one reads 100% of anything, right? So it's better for them to at least, instead of skipping that entire paragraph, if they get to at least I spent a lot of time mentoring placement and graduate students, that's better than them missing out on the entire thing, right? So it just gives them a little bit less friction to kind of get a little bit more data in them.
Yeah, and I would
Yeah.
also add bullet points. The bullet points help, break it down even more. It's just I don't know why it's just easier to kind of read it when it's bullet points. Yeah, but I can assure you that, for example, if you have bullet points, you will probably, and not. I mean, this is quite long for a bullet point, but that's fine. In this case, the shorter the bullet points are, I can assure you, the more information you will get over to the recruiter. Because you should understand, recruiters in general are lazy people. And also, I mean, besides lazy, they're very busy looking through hundreds of different resumes. So the easier you make their life, the better for you and for them, because you'll be able to get more information to them, and they'll be more happy that you didn't make them read, an entire essay for that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
consider bullet.
I'm just gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave this just as a note for me for later. Because I might just take a long time to go
Of course.
refactor this whole section for bullet points. But yeah, 100% that makes sense. I think it would make this a lot better, a lot more readable, even more than it is now. So
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, because I mean, honestly, as recruiter myself, many times I see people just send me like sometimes in 2 3 pages of their cover letter, which is too long. Unfortunately, I will not read 3 pages because I have a lot of other tasks that I need to do, and rarely I get a cover letter which will be bullet points and straight to the point, which I love. Okay, let us move forward. Let's go to the next paragraph. Where did we stop? I've also okay. So yeah, I'm a contributor to a okay, wait. I'm contributor to the Learn Web3 platform. I achieved this role by submitting a bug fix, okay, on their GitHub and help the students in the Discord. I've organized multiple calls with developers to solve queries and questions. I'm passionate about helping students to solve any issues they encounter. Okay. Why is this paragraph in the bottom? I think this paragraph will give you huge advantage, and I would, as a recruiter, if I'm looking for someone for this role, I would really want to know this information first before
okay,
skipping and going, to the next cover letter. Because here you specifically are touching on the points that look, learn Web3. First of all, Web3 platform. Second, you were educating people. That's great. You know,
okay,
I mean,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what.
yeah. Yeah,
No?
I guess I just had it because like this was like my full time role that I before that I should just mention that first, but maybe it's in terms of Web3 roles like what you're saying, it's maybe not even as valuable as this sort of experience.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and also being passionate, you included there. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Let's go down. I think you have a few more paragraphs after this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Alright.
this was a very important. Okay. I've experienced writing contracts related to Ethereum, and therefore would be prepared and capable to fulfill the aspects and job description. Um, okay. I mean, this is really good. I love it. I love, have experience writing smart contracts related to Ethereum. This is, I mean, first of all, Taylor, this is amazing that you have this experience. I honestly love it. And this is one of the things that I would also include somewhere, closer to the top, because this gives you a huge advantage, um, you know, across, this role.
Okay.
I mean, having this information, you are killing out multiple bullet points in the role description.
Okay.
That's, I
So
mean, that's
should this maybe go before the information about my last job then?
yeah, it should. That's funny because you have you have so many great points towards the end. Always, guys, that's for everyone. Have, the strongest points, on the top. And I mean, those points talking about, finding bugs in Web3 platform, and then, being able to write and audit smart contracts. I think that's awesome. Okay. So yeah, that's looks better now, much better. I love it. Let's go. Okay, so let's return.
Yeah. Just
I will
here.
take immense pride in being okay, so okay, that's great. At online and offline events, the idea of being able to run my own technical workshops, other brands such as this sounds fantastic. Um, I like it. I like it because here, besides just saying that you're passionate about something, in this, I think it's two sentences, I can see your passion. I can feel your passion. I can feel that you're very passionate about joining their team, about contributing, about moving their brand forward and driving the adoption. And that's what they're all about. Nick, what do you think?
I'm sorry, I'm talking to ChatGPT over here.
Oh, say hi to ChatGPT. So we're discussing. I'm talking about the paragraph where Taylor says, "I would." So yeah, this
Yeah,
one.
it's
I would. Yeah,
it's an interesting one because I feel like it also I also didn't like the third to last line up, eager to hear back. I just want eager replaced with excited. Um, and I feel like the same type of sentiment from this paragraph. I would take enormous pride in being, yeah, I mean, so we want to show, like, it definitely shows the excitement, which I think is fine. I mean, honestly, this paragraph doesn't bother me at all.
it's great. I mean,
Yeah,
I like it because he shows how passionate he is about the company, about the product, and that he wants to, participate, online, offline events. I think that's good. Awesome. Um, okay, so eager to hear back. Um, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot say that this is bad. That's maybe not eager, but excited to hear back. What do you think, Nick?
excited to hear back. Yeah.
Excited to hear back. Yeah, I think this would be better.
Better, yeah.
Thanks, Taylor. Yeah, I mean that's okay. That's good. I like it. Overall, just my personal feedback to you, it was a very good cover letter. You were straight to the point. Just a few downsides. And again, this is for everyone who'll be watching this. Guys, always if you have strong, like for example, Taylor had amazing points towards the end. Try to have the most important points about your past, experience, anything that is related to the role on the top, because the the longer the cover letter and the lower you have your strong points, the less percentage that the recruiter will get to that point that you want to mention, which you think is important. So always have it on the top. And yeah, and also Taylor, let's do it this way. Try to add the corrections that we gave you over this call, and then try to see if you can also break it down a little bit more in terms of bullet points. Maybe add more, kind of delete something, make it into bullet points. This would be good. Yeah, but overall, great cover letter. Good job, Taylor. So, by the way, when you were applying to this job, did you submit this cover letter?
Yeah. This is the one that got me the interview.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So guys, yeah, this is a cover letter that got Taylor an interview with the startup. I think this is awesome. So yeah, by
I
the
think
way,
one main type of thing is like if it's a really, really good match, this stuff matters less and less, right? I mean, the hardest part is just like making sure that you're a good match, and then getting in front of them, and then just making sure that people are, taking the time to actually look at it.
yeah, and also I think the cover letters in general are more important in Web 2 companies than Web 3. I don't know why, but I have the sense that Web 2 companies quite often they will have specifically, we need your cover letter. Web 3 startups, they're like, that's good. But again, guys, having a great cover letter, doesn't matter if it's Web 2 or Web 3, will give you more chances of landing a job, especially if you can have a great narrative, great points that you were not able to include in your resume, again, due to the format that is supposed to be one page.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys. So yeah, we're kind of running a little bit out of time.
No. Wait. Do we have time?
No, we do have time. So I want to go to ChatGPT.
Oh yes. Okay. You're transitioning into me here because I got an awesome little conversation here. It almost ghosted me for a second, but it was just taking a couple minutes to think.
Awesome. Okay. So Taylor, thank you so much for sharing your cover letter. Now let's see what ChatGPT can do with your cover letter. So you can stop sharing the screen, and now
do you want to take it?
Awesome. I also quickly here, I want to show you guys a little bit of a cover letter that I did at some point.
Okay, let's do it. Okay.
Oh, sweet. You guys see this? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. All right, here. So, I mean, I kind of just copy and pasted this. This is a live, actual cover letter that got me a job a few years ago. And I just want to like quickly break down because I mean, look, I'm no perfect example here, but I mean, there were a couple of things that I did right enough where, it got us on a phone call and I eventually did land a job from this. So actually, it's funny because some of the things that we were talking about are actually demonstrated in here as well. Number one thing that I'm noticing is, Alex, of course, I love your sentiment on the same thing. Always go for the digits, right? Digits are good. They break up the text. People look at it. It's fantastic. All right. So overall, what's going on here? First of all, I treat cover letters literally like an email. Right. I mean, sure, hiring managers might go into a pile of cover letters and say like, all right, let me, put my thinking cap on. I'm going to have to like read difficult things and whatnot here. Make it super, super easy. Right. Nobody wakes up saying that they do not want to get swept off their feet. Right. So just make it very easy for them. All right. So, hey there, came across your post on HN. This is Hacker News and figured it'd be a great time to connect. Right. So already this is like, are we looking for a job? Are we looking for a connection? I mean, I'm not even too sure, right? It's very natural, very easy to continue reading. Like this person's not aggressive. They're not looking for anything from me. All right, so let's continue. Cover my heavily technical background, all iOS, but for the last 5 years, doing this and that. Really, really brief, right? Really, really simple, easy to read. And of course, and I have second points here, but I'll just finish here. A little bit more of the background, very, very kind of high level. Keywords, we're hitting like, Facebook ads, scaling, right? Like things like this that make it really easy to see like what is actually going on here at the highest level. Of course, right here, excited to hop on a call, see how we can grow this together. Thanks so much for your time. Talk soon. I also have a couple other things where, if you did want to make it a little bit longer, add some links, make it easy. And then phone numbers are one of those things that just like make everything seem like this is not a bot. If you're adding a phone number anywhere, I always suggest whenever you're signing anything, put a phone number on there and you just immediately like increase your engagement rate like 20-25%. So any questions so far?
I honestly, I love it. I mean, I love that every single point that you make is straight to the point.
And so
it's good.
So
and keywords, that's a great point. Use keywords.
This is one of my favorite quotes. Mozart said, "The music is not in the notes, but in the silence in between." Right? So like what I'm getting at here is brevity is key. It is key so much. I've actually tweeted this over to, that's actually crazy. He deleted the tweet. This was Ryan Selkis. I don't know what he actually tweeted, but I said brevity is the scarcest asset in this space. And it is so true because for some reason, we in crypto, we love our data. We love our technical talk and whatnot. We'll do anything for the sake of like getting extra sentences out there rather than just getting the point across. So really, really important. If I were to break it up here, a couple quick key points, focus on keywords, right? Those keywords are going to be really easy for them to, even if I am skimming, right? Skimming, yeah, we don't want them to skim, but let's assume they are. Get those keywords in there, get those digits in there so they know like, all right, that's a data point. Like, let me go straight there. That's a word that I recognize. Let me see what they have in there. Speak their language. If we're in Web3, obviously tons of different keywords and stuff like that that are like very specific to us. Maybe even, if it's like a degenerate of enough startup, forget, hey there, put just GM, right? I mean, it would, I think we actually had someone in the comments here saying exactly that. And I think you're exactly right. Keep it broad strokes, keep it brief, and think like a copywriter. I think that's something that goes really, really overlooked. But of course, we're not all copywriters. It's difficult for us to all kind of do writing when, we don't necessarily do it as our main profession. But what is the purpose of each sentence if you're a copywriter? It's just like the purpose of every episode of a TV show. It's just to get them to watch the next episode. Every sentence is merely a tool to get them to read the next sentence. Okay, because you have someone reading, you have someone engaging, and then that's how you're going to end up with them getting to the end. And then once they're reading the end of it, then you're more likely to get on a call. So that's my little spiel, a little audit of my own cover letter here. And if there are no more questions, you guys ready to look at what AI said?
Let's do it.
Okay, so here's my...
is awesome.
Here's my blind date with AI.
Can you make it bigger because we can you maybe make the window a little bit
yeah
wider because we can barely see anything, and then just zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that's much
better.
Yeah, much better.
Okay, cool. So a couple of things here. I want to go over like, first of all, what AI said and how we can use it, but also literally how I'm using the tool, because I think that's, everyone says like AI is going to replace me. No, AI is not going to replace you. People using AI is going to replace you. So, right? If you can use AI the best, then you're kind of getting yourself a little bit of security there. So I first came in, I asked it, can you reword this into an easily readable winning cover letter that will be sent to hiring managers and founders? And then I just pasted in the entire cover letter as it was in the very beginning. So AI came back to me. I kind of skimmed through it, right? Basically, and this is actually kind of interesting as well. I was treating this as if like, okay, I'm asking you to improve it. I'm the hiring manager. Am I reading it? Right. And so I actually skimmed through it the first time. I was like, okay, this is clearly not quite there because I'm not even reading it. So I say, not bad. Can you include bullet points? I wanted to see like, all right, Alex, let's see how right you are and let's get some bullet points in here. And here's a good example of like how AI can be like a very fickle type of assistant for you, because then it went ahead and just like made the points, and that's not what I wanted either.
Well, yeah.
So I come back and say, okay, give me 4 or 5 bullet points max, please. We want a healthy and brief mix of paragraph and bullets. And it's important to recognize here, like ChatGPT is very conversational, right? Like it knows the data that you're kind of sending back to it, so you can kind of like really talk as you would a person here. So, and then this is our last one that we got here, and I think it might be the best out of all of them. And the reason I say that is because it gets all the data in there. We have it broken up nicely in some bullet points here. Nice close. Now, I really wanted ChatGPT to like give me. I wanted it to just like continue whittling it down. I think the problem was that it was finding is like there's too much signal in here and not enough noise to even whittle down. So amazing job by Taylor to like have all the credentials and everything. The next thing that I would say is, let's think back to that Mozart quote. The music is in the silence, not the notes, right? Not the notes, but the silence in between. So if we're leaving out some of those blanks, I mean, we don't need to go into too much detail, because if we say that we did a role, well, they're going to have follow-up questions. And if it's interesting enough for them to want to talk, then we'll continue discussing it. We don't have to go through the entire conversation like up front directly in the cover letter. So overall, I mean, forgive me for kind of ranting a little bit. This stuff just excites me, obviously. But I think this was Lacey, fantastic call getting us to punch this into ChatGPT, because really, hell, free right now. It's still easy enough to use. And I would suggest it's definitely better to use it and, be unpleased or displeased with the results and then not, end up implementing it than to not use it at all.
Yeah. I mean, and also what you could try to do, if you don't have a cover letter just yet, you can try using ChatGPT to create a cover letter. But again, ChatGPT will not make it supernatural. But if you will make a right request in ChatGPT, you can always just modify it a little bit to make it more natural. But I'm applying for develop. Okay, what's my winning cover letter? Okay, let's see.
Yeah. I mean, even things like this. I mean,
And again, look, bullet points.
There you go.
You can ask for them, but ChatGPT, as a winning cover letter, it did include bullet points. Awesome.
And it's including a lot. That's something else to know.
Yeah, that's. And again, look at the format. I think it's gonna be not longer than 1 page, because that's kind of the.
I'm almost getting worried. I'm wondering, like, okay, there we go. Yeah, ChatGPT should know that like better cover letters are gonna be like not a wall of text.
Yeah. So look at it. I mean, looks great. I like the format. I like that it's bullet points. Short intro, qualification, and then kind of finishing it up. It's good. Not long at all.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting.
Okay, so you could ask it to make a VC based off of the job description. CV.
Oh yes, like an actual like on resume, like formatted and everything. Lacey might be referring to.
Try. Taylor, do you have the job? Maybe you can send us job description, or just the link to the job to Nick, and then we can try doing it.
Sure. Can I paste it in this private chat? Do you see that?
So, yeah.
Okay, wait, I think is that.
Yeah. I mean, you see it in the picture. Let's see it.
Okay. Let's see here. So last time I tried, I'm not sure if they improved this. I don't think you can like give it a link and it won't scrape it. So you got to take.
Just copy and paste the job description into.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm here taking this much. Let's see in here. Oh my goodness. I'm not used to typing on a laptop. This
That's gonna be
okay.
fun.
Oh yeah, it's still using my name.
Yeah, it still has all this context. Yeah, we have to like start a new conversation, I guess, for it to forget everything.
I mean, that's fine.
I mean, this is really nice with the placeholder text too.
Oh wait, it's using the tags before, I think, because I can see C++.
I think it's
Well,
still like imagining that yeah, it's not like a blank slate, right? Like we're still Taylor looking for DevRel jobs, I think.
yeah, it's
Right,
still
so
using
it's getting a
some
little.
That's
But
good.
it looks like a really good template anyway, to be honest, like to kind of work off.
Yeah, because we have a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, in our community that they might have a CV, but the format might be a little bit off. So, guys, completely free, no charge. Just go to ChatGPT
And
and
Stanley, the site that we're using to apply for all the jobs is metaintro.com. Head over here, go to the Discord, and then you'll see dozens of channels in there with over 4,000 jobs a month that get posted that you can go apply to.
yeah. In our Discord, we post at least 40 to 50 jobs on a daily basis into different categories: developers, business developers, designers, marketing, everything. So,
And
yeah.
while you're there, get on the wait list for when the product comes out here.
Yeah, we have already over 3,000 people on our wait list.
Look at
So,
that.
yeah, we're going. Actually, on daily basis, I think we're adding about 300 new people on the wait list.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, guys. I think that's the end of our session.
I think it was awesome. Unless there are no more questions from the audience. I mean, Taylor, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I mean, I kind of like to be honest, the part I kind of wasn't sure how to fix in terms of cover letters was I always like knew like those big blocky paragraphs were too much. I didn't even consider things like bullet points were even like an option to kind of, and now I'm thinking a lot more about what you were saying about making sure that the whoever's reading it gets to the next line or gets through as many lines as possible, because a lot of the time they won't, they just simply won't read it. So yeah, really helpful in that regard.
Very cool. And of course, if you're in a similar position as Taylor, maybe we can bring you on up, do a little audit of your resume as well. Of course, there's always a ton of help going on inside the Discord. And of course, I mean, Taylor's in there as well. And, we're kind of doing just one-off questions and conversation with other like-minded people looking to get hired in Web3 or, of course, advance their career in Web3. So, yeah, be sure to join the Discord, hop on the waiting list. And, yeah, I mean, I'm like, I got no more questions here, Alex, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if you want to go over here, unless that's it for now.
I mean, I think that's good for now. I was wondering, Taylor, did you know about ChatGPT before this call? Or used it before?
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've actually because I'm not like so good at like writing or copywriting and things like this, I've been using it to kind of like draft out like an article for me, so I kind of have an idea of how to structure it before I write it, sort of thing. So it's been really useful in that regard for me. But that's kind of all I've used it for. So
Awesome. And just one thing that I want to mention: the descriptions for those live sessions are made by ChatGPT. Just saying.
nice.
Yeah, we love it. Of course, I do some, here and there, I'll edit it a little bit, but I mean, the description usually is so good, and you probably sometimes cannot even make it better. It knows exactly what it should be.
So I saw somebody post something like, I wonder if like copywriting firms and like people that are just like writing copy for entertainment or just like words for entertainment, I wonder if they're going to start putting a little asterisk saying, disclaiming that this is not created with AI. And it kind of got me wondering, I'm like, why? Like what benefit is it? Like, what would FedEx unlock by saying that we only ship ground? Right? I mean, like AI is not like an enemy or a friend. It's literally just a tool. And I mean, I think that's like the main thing. People saying that it's going to become sentient and take over. I think it's all insane nonsense. yeah, we're gonna be just fine.
Nick, I would disagree here just on one thing, that AI is getting better and better with each day, each year. Just look at
You think it'll
ChatGPT.
become sentient? You
No,
think
no,
it'll
just
like
look, it might.
take
I mean,
over?
it will not take over, but I'm just saying that it might be so intelligent in the future that it actually might take over some of the jobs that people are doing, just because, first
Absolutely.
of all, it's going to be way more efficient. It can work 24/7. For example, making blog posts, I don't know, social media, even like social media marketing. I'm pretty sure that AI will be able to, make you an amazing campaign, which will, help your brand grow faster. Just, I mean, again, it's mind blowing. So, for example, if you go into ChatGPT and, for example, let's say, you write, make me a Google extension, let's say, for Ethereum gas prices. It's gonna make the code and give you an instruction how to upload it into Google Chrome extension store, and you will be able to have your own extension in less than a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously, in less than a minute is gonna produce all of the code and everything, and step-by-step guide on how to do it. And this is just the smallest thing that I was able to do. I'm pretty sure if you're gonna ask, if you're gonna ask in future, ChatGPT, I need a iOS app for, for my website. This is the link to the website. It needs to do this and this. It will do it. It will produce you an iOS app for your, store or website. Just think about it. I mean, it's crazy the way, AI is moving.
We need to have a separate, like a whole
Well,
topic. Yeah,
Like,
I want to go more into AI.
yeah, podcast about AI and ChatGPT, where we're headed. Okay, guys, awesome. Well, thank you so much. Honestly, one of the best sessions, I think. So interactive.
I think it was great. Yeah, Taylor, thank you for offering up your cover letter for us to roast.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. That helped a lot.
Thank you. Okay, guys. Well, then, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe in our YouTube for more great content, because every single session is on our YouTube. You can go through, how to make a great resume, how to use crypto Twitter, and so on, as well as you can watch Taylor's videos about him looking for a DevRel job live. Well, I mean, basically showing every single, step that he's taking to get the job. And there's a lot of great content coming up. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much one more time, and then I'm going to see you later. Bye-bye.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.